Hello and welcome back to the Movie Memo Recaps. Today we are going to recap a 2007 movie titled Shoot 'Em Up. Please be advised that there will be spoilers ahead. The initial scene introduces us to Smith, a homeless man eating his beloved carrot. Smith is a former army man who has become a wanderer after losing his kid and wife to death. While he was daydreaming, a pregnant woman was observed strolling in front of him. The woman appeared afraid. As the pregnant woman went by, a guy appeared and began pursuing her. Smith decided to pursue the man when he pulled out a gun. Later, inside the building, the lady attempted to fight back, however, she was out of ammunition. Smith intervened just as the man was about to end her life. Finally, Smith was able to finish the man down with only a carrot. At the same moment, a gang of armed guys arrived and began targeting the pregnant woman. As a result, a gunfight broke out, and Smith successfully eliminated them. The woman, who was significantly pregnant, began having contractions, and Smith had no option but to assist in the delivery. Unfortunately, the gunman returned in the middle of labor, forcing Smith to resume firing. Fortunately, the infant got it out safely. Their leader, Carl Hertz, proceeded to target them. As a result, Smith attempted to take the baby and the lady undercover while dealing with Carl. Smith eventually snatched Carl's gun and pointed it back at him. Unfortunately, the pistol malfunctioned as it required the owner's fingerprints to function. Carl's men soon returned, so Smith decided to depart with the woman and her kid. Smith later discovered that the woman had been shot and killed. In the end, Smith opted to flee with just the infant. Meanwhile, Carl's crew continued to pursue Smith, leading to yet another conflict. Smith eventually escaped from the building by bursting through a window into the next building. After failing to catch up with Smith, Carl quickly ordered his men to clean up all the dead bodies. It is unclear why the mob attacked the woman. The following day, while Smith was carrying the baby, a man named Doty observed him closely. Smith fled to a bathroom as soon as he realized what had happened. Doty followed him to the toilet and requested that Smith hand over the infant immediately. However, when Smith refused, Doty and Smith fought. On one instance, Smith was able to corner Doty. However, Smith opted not to finish him. Smith then promptly departed with the baby. Later, Carl received news from his guys that Smith had arrived at a playground. Carl rushed there immediately. The scene cuts back to Smith, who is now at a park. Smith chooses to keep the baby at a playground, hoping that it would be adopted. A woman wanted to take the kid, but Carl killed her using a sniper. Smith, who was still near, quickly shot towards the playground, making it impossible for Carl to shoot the infant. Then Smith took advantage of the situation by taking the infant away. After that, Smith went to the embroidery shop and met one of his female pals, Donna Quintano. People describe Donna as a comforting woman who has recently experienced the loss of her baby. Smith urged Donna to care for the baby, including nursing it. Donna, however, declined Smith's request, despite Smith's offer to give her $5,000. Donna believed Smith had taken the baby illegally. Smith clarified that he was not a baby kidnapper, but Donna still denied his request. Carl, conversely, gazed into the face of the baby's mother, who was on the verge of a burial. Carl finally grasped something: Smith must be seeking someone to nurse the baby. Carl then ordered his men to hunt for any comfort women who were nursing, assuming Smith had brought the infant there. In summary, Carl eventually encountered Donna and promptly inquired about the whereabouts of Smith and the baby. Donna informed him that Smith and the baby had been there earlier. Donna also claimed to be unaware of Smith's current location. Carl did not believe her and instead threatened Donna with a pistol. Then he began torturing and terrorizing Donna. Smith appeared, and both pointed their weapons at each other. Smith knew Carl was out of ammunition, and he eliminated him. Outside, Smith had vanquished all of Carl's soldiers. Then Donna, Smith, and the baby drove away in a vehicle. It came out that Carl was still alive. Carl has previously worn a bulletproof vest. Then Smith narrated to Donna how he got to be with the baby. Donna eventually understands how the baby came to be with Smith. Smith then became irritated by a driver who littered, so he forced his car to collide with a car parked on the roadside. Smith eventually pulled over at a firearms shop. Smith purchased some ammo and a bulletproof jacket for the baby. After that, they walked to an empty building that appears to be Smith's home. Carl was already on his way when he unintentionally discovered a vehicle with shattered glass in front of the gun shop. Carl was certain that the car was the one Smith had used. Inside the building, Smith and Donna are seen using a newspaper to change the baby's diaper. Smith then sought to discover information on television, hoping to see whether there was any news regarding the baby's mother. Unfortunately, the television only showed news of Senator Rutledge, who was running for president. Then Smith changed the station to metal music. It turned out that this caused the infant to cease crying. Finally, Smith believes that the baby's mother may have come from an area near the metal music club. Carl and his men had gathered beneath the structure, preparing to attack Smith. They had already learned Smith's position from the proprietor of the gun shop, and the distance to the building was not very long. Then Carl's men attacked, resulting in a gunfight. Donna was observed descending an elevator. Meanwhile, Smith, who was carrying the baby, continued to fire alongside Carl's men. Smith once used a rope to get down, and then he escaped with Donna, who was waiting for him down below. Carl and his remaining men proceeded to seek Smith, this time with the help of a sniffer dog. Donna had instructed Smith to kill off the dog from a distance. However, Smith declined, claiming that he loved dogs. As a consequence, the dog was duped by a paper diaper Smith had hidden in a mound of debris. The scene then shifts to Smith, Donna, and the baby, who are on their way to the metal music club. When Smith arrived, he asked the club owner whether there was a pregnant woman living nearby. The club owner originally refused to say anything, but after being pressured, he eventually admitted that upstairs was an inn with many rooms rented by pregnant ladies. Smith stepped inside and was shocked to see several individuals already lying down. Smith then attempted to check other rooms until he noticed Dodie, who was on the phone with someone. Over the phone, Dodie stated that there was only one baby remaining and that he would seek it right away. Dodie is reported to have previously targeted the infant and fought Smith while in the toilet. After Dodie left, Smith returned to inspect another room with Donna until they discovered a lab. After a lengthy examination of the lab, it was discovered that someone had purposefully contributed sperm to multiple women in the hopes that the ladies would give birth to offspring with the same spinal marrow as the donor. However, certain groups, such as Carl's group, insisted on murdering the infant. When they wanted to depart, Smith stumbled upon a Hammerson handgun. Smith, an army soldier, is a weapon master. He is also aware that the Hammerson branded handgun will only be available for the next 6 months. Smith feels that the proprietor of the Hammerson company is somehow involved in all of these incidents. The following day, Smith accompanied Donna and the baby to a military museum. Smith instructed Donna to hide with the infant inside an M24 steel tank in case of an unexpected and rapid attack. Then Smith proceeded alone, entering the Hammerson company's plant, an American weapons manufacturer. Carl was observed inside the weapons production facility, speaking with the company's owner while holding a dog. Then Carl informed Hammerson that the infant they were hunting had not been effectively killed off. That's because it was disturbed by a man named Smith. Hearing this, Hammerson instructed Carl to finish off the infant and Smith before the presidential election. It appears Smith is still discreetly listening in on their talk. Then Smith prepared the weapons that were available to carry out the attack. After spending a long time preparing weapons, Carl discovered Smith's presence and promptly shot at him, as did Hammerson and his men. Carl later stated that he already knew who Smith was. In truth, he was aware that Smith had grown unhappy and destitute following the deaths of his kid and wife in a firefight with thieves. Hearing this, Smith grew enraged and attacked with the weapons he had prepared. After effectively killing several of Hammerson's men, Smith fled. After fleeing, Smith returned to meet Donna and the baby in a steel tank. Smith said that Hammerson had intended the infant to die. However, Smith has no idea who wants the baby's spinal cord. Until they open the diaper, there was a page of newspaper stating that a senator will run for president. If the senator is elected, he will withdraw all people's gun ownership rights. Not only that, but he would stop down gun manufacturers, including Hammerson. Smith knew that the senator required the baby's bone marrow, but Hammerson and Carl did not want the senator to have the baby. Smith then plans to meet with the senator. In the meanwhile, he requests that Donna transport the infant out of town via bus. Donna and the baby travel to the bus terminal. On their way to the station, they were unexpectedly ambushed by Carl's men. Smith and Donna eventually split, but Smith continued to carry the baby. Then Smith broke into a vehicle, and he escaped. Carl's men, on the other hand, pursued from behind, eventually leading to a gunfight. Unfortunately, due to this situation, the baby had to bounce out. Then Smith and a car carrying Carl's men collided, and Smith climbed into their car and defeated them. When Smith attempted to pick the baby, who was still in the middle of the road, Carl was already prepared to hit the infant. However, Carl appears to have smacked a doll with a recording device attached. It turns out that the infant is still in the steel tank with Donna. Smith then phoned the senator's office, informing him that he was the one with the infant. Hearing Smith's confession, the senator's staff urged him to meet with the senator's aide. It came out that the senator's aide was none other than Dodie, the one who had sought to take the baby from Smith. Shortly after meeting with Dodie, Smith requested Dodie accompany him to see the senator first. Then he'd give the baby. Dodie then arranges for Smith to meet with the senator on an airplane. Finally, it is discovered that the senator has cancer, which is why he needs the same spinal marrow as him. Meanwhile, the Hammerson and Carl factions oppose the senator's recovery so that he might compete for president. According to his plan, the senator would withdraw individuals' gun ownership rights, as well as close his firm Hammerson. Smith also noticed that the senator's clothes had dog hair, much like Hammerson's dog. Smith knew that the senator was now merged with Hammerson. So Smith held the senator prisoner aboard an aircraft full of security. Smith's assumption was correct, and Hammerson had now partnered with the senator. The senator asked Hammerson to help him obtain the baby, promising not to close Hammerson's firm if elected president. Smith instructed them all to stand down, and he took the senator to the cargo hold. Smith claimed that if the senator died, everyone would sympathize. Congress will undoubtedly ratify and accept the senator's agenda, which previously sought to strip individuals' gun ownership rights, including the Hammerson corporate cover. After killing the senator, Smith jumped out of the plane using a parachute. Simultaneously, the senator's troops descended, resulting in an aerial fight. Smith eventually eliminated them all, including the assistant. Once he reached the ground, Smith proceeded towards a building. Smith, however, fainted unexpectedly as a result of his injuries. Carl had already taken him captive when Smith awoke. He asked Smith where Donna and the baby are. They were specifically targeting Donna since she was already well versed in their activities. However, when Smith refused to respond, Carl proceeded to break each of Smith's fingers individually. Before Carl could attempt to stab Smith in the eye, Smith managed to inflict a gore on him, which enabled him to successfully attack and reverse the situation. During this encounter, Smith was able to finish off Hammerson and his men. Smith attempted to shoot Carl but missed because his fingers were crooked. Smith rushed to another room and sat by the hearth. Carl soon arrived, appearing happy that Smith could no longer evade his pursuit. However, Smith had placed bullets between his fingers, and when his hand approached the fireplace, the bullet flew directly through Carl's torso. Then Smith departed. It was revealed that Hammerson's dog expressed a desire to accompany Smith. A few days later, Smith and the dog took the bus to see Donna. In summary, Smith disembarked at an ice cream parlor. It turns out that Donna is now working at the store while taking care of the baby. Soon after, a group of robbers emerged. Smith quickly retrieved his rifle and shot the thieves with the assistance of a carrot, precisely as the narrative began and the film concluded. Thank you for watching. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe for more recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.